In this neighborhood, a beautiful day for our neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty woods, a neighborly day for our beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in this neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, television neighbors. Here we are, visiting again. I want to show you a few things. This is a picture of Grandma outside. Have you ever seen one of these false faces before? Look at this. You see, I am a skeleton on the inside, but on the outside, it's just my regular face. Here is Mr. Rogers goes to the goes a day at the circus booklet. Well, we have just enough time for some make-believe before we visit Sir James Matthew Barrie. So, Trolley, let's make believe something about King Friday and X the Owl as the English writer. Maybe thinking about some lost boys, and they could be helping their neighbors learning about Peter Pan. Alright, Trolley, to the neighborhood of make-believe. Oh, X the Owl, English writer, I presume. Why, I think you're correct, King Friday. I know that you and the other neighbors are planning to have some of our lost boys coming next week. I think that is correct again, King Friday. Well, maybe you should run along and get some of those lost boys and Peter Pan to come next time, and we hope you will be here too, Trolley. Well, I wonder what it's gonna be like when Peter Pan and those lost boys come over to the neighborhood of make-believe. Or we'll pretend more about that neighborhood place the next time. But for now, I want you to meet the real author of Peter Pan. So let's go to Sir James Matthew Barrie's house and meet Sir James Matthew Barrie. Come along.
Well, Victor.
Sir James.
Yes, Sir Victor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I see you've perfected your time travel machine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd like you to know my television friend.
Television? What's a television?
A television is something you watch, Sir James M. Barrie.
Oh, kind of like watching a play?
Sort of.
Okay.
I would like you to meet my television friend. This is Sir James Matthew Barrie.
Hello, television friend. Kind of a little guy, isn't he?
Well, some of my television neighbors are quite small and big. So I want to talk to you, Sir James Matthew Barrie, on how you first started writing stories about Peter Pan. When did this all start?
Well, it all started when I had my first child, and he was a boy, and I would tell him stories, and I would read him books at bedtime, and he always seemed to enjoy the idea of being able to fly. And so I thought, I know how to write. After all, I am a writer. And I thought, why not write a book for my son, where there's a little boy that can fly. And my son also liked to be the hero, and he liked to take on the forces of evil and darkness. And I thought, why not have him fly and have an evil antagonist? We'll call him Hook, Captain Hook, a pirate, a bloodthirsty pirate. But Peter, my son's name, had the gift of Pan, which is the fairy gods, and he was able to defeat Captain Hook. So I came up with this whole story just for my son, and I must say it was a pretty good story.
Now, you're obviously a Scottish playwright as well as a Scottish novelist, and I'm just curious, to many of the children all over the world, how do you...
The barons, you mean?
Yes. How do you spend time writing as well as doing a play?
Well, in Scotland, you see, we get an awful lot of rain, laddie. Awful lot of rain. In fact, in September, it's the rainiest month of the year. And so in September, I have lots of time to spend indoors, where I write
and we have plays at the theater. So there's plenty of time to do both, don't you know?
And you started when you were just a little boy writing these stories to get children well educated?
Actually, I didn't start writing my children's stories until I had my own wee bairn, Peter. Before that, I only wrote for the theater, for the grown-ups, the adults. It wasn't until I had my own bairn that I decided to write for the ones.
Now, you're originally from London. Do you enjoy these moments with your family? The Barry family in London?
Well, I have to correct you there, Victor. I'm actually born and raised in a wee village just outside of Edinburgh, in Scotland. But when I was a young lad, my parents moved to London. So, in some ways, you are right, that I'm originally from Scotland.
I just had one more thing I want to say to you, Sir James Matthew Barry. I suppose when children read your books, they probably get a touchy feeling when they are mesmerized about what you write.
I think so. I think lots of them believe that they are members of my lost boys, and they feel as though they can take on pirates themselves.
Well, thank you for having me to visit Sir James Barry. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure has been all mine, laddie. I hope you have a safe journey back to your pine.
Well, I gotta get back to my neighborhood. Oh, that Sir James Barry is a delightful man. You know, it gives me a wonderful feeling to be able to share such a man with many different new people in the world. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling
It's fine.
that I'll be back when the week is new.